An interesting note. I don't know if he wants his name used or not.
Dave?
Yeah. You know, Dave, it is Dave.
I'm joking.
He's a mechanical maintenance supervisor in facilities for a local university.
Okay.
And he just alerted me to a piece that was in the Daily Mail that had escaped me. And he said, interesting read. I guess an old Jeep is better for the environment than an electric vehicle. And he steered me to the piece, which I looked up, and I have it right here. Volvo says emissions for making electric vehicles can be 70% higher than petrol models and claims it can take up to 9 years of driving before they become greener. Volvo has said that emissions from electric cars are far higher than a petrol equivalent, as it called on world leaders and energy providers to significantly boost investments in green energy to reduce the carbon footprint of plug-in models. The Swedish car maker said that over a car's lifetime, the electric version will become greener overall, though this will only be achieved after covering between 30,000 and 68,000 miles, taking between 4 and 9 years for the average UK motorist.
What does that mean? I thought electric cars don't emit.
Well, because you have to do a lot of mining, and you have to.
Oh, they're saying overall in the production of it. Okay.
Right. The claims were made to coincide with the climate summit taking place in Glasgow and as part of the revolutionary new transparency approach adopted by the brand Volvo, which includes publishing its latest life cycle assessment report for the pure electric $57,400 C40 rechargeable vehicle. I won't read you the whole thing, but it shows that greenhouse gas emissions during production of the vehicle are nearly 70% higher than a petrol model, which is mainly due to the carbon intensity of battery and steel production, as well as from the increased share of aluminum in the plug-in car. But Volvo said an EV in the C40 Recharge has a far lower carbon footprint than its comparable petrol vehicle during its use.
Okay.
But making it is a big problem.
Why isn't that addressed by everybody that's saying this is green?
Well,
this is
I'm going to get to that in a moment.
Okay.
When charged with clean energy, such as wind power, the life cycle CO2 footprint of the new electric SUV comes down to approximately 27 tons of CO2 compared with 59 tons for the XC40 compact SUV powered by an internal combustion engine. However, when drivers charge their C40 Recharge using an average global energy mix, which is generated for around 60% from fossil fuels, the car's life cycle CO2 tonnage can increase by as much as 50 tons, significantly reducing the environmental gains versus a traditionally powered car. I'm not. It's just statistics and damn statistics. But here's something else.
What else you got there, brah?
Who sent this? Scott sent this to me. Has anyone really thought this through? If all cars were electrically powered, imagine 3 hours of traffic jam with batteries flat. What are you going to do? There is practically no heating in an electric vehicle over extended periods. If you are stuck in traffic during the night, no battery energy left, so no heating. And there's a picture of a snowstorm with cars on the freeway. Call the breakdown service to collect women and children. They can get there, but they can't get there because the roads are choked with the disabled electric cars.
Like we see every single winter on, what's the street in Chicago, Joe, next to the lake?
It's either Lakeshore or Michigan.
Lakeshore Drive. Yeah. That's exactly the one I'm thinking
When the
of.
roads are cleared, no one can move the flat battery. How are the hundreds or thousands of cars going to be recharged? It is going to be the same in the summer traffic jam. That's going to perpetually that will lead to perpetual jams with dead batteries, but nobody talks about it. More proof that our governments, Greens, and the rest don't have reasoning beyond the ends of their noses. I don't know if his claims are true, but I have heard that electric vehicle battery life is shortened in cold weather.
How can it not be? Cold weather stifles everything.
And so that's a really great point. You're here in Minnesota. Of course, we'll never have this again because the climate is providing warmer winters.
Right.
But let's just say, just for the hell of it,
Come on, sake
that
of
you
the
get a
game.
snowstorm.
Sake of the game.
Which will happen.
And okay, so you're driving home. Let's say you work in Minneapolis, and you're driving to Apple Valley, and you're going to be sweating it out because I've only got I don't know if battery life is measured in time or miles. Probably time. Probably miles.
I'll look it up.
And,
No,
and-
it's time.
yeah. So you're thinking, oh, I can get home. I've got 40 minutes of battery life left. All of a sudden, all the red lights in front of you come on. The snow is accumulating too quickly.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, your battery life just keeps dissipating and
You
dissipating
see that?
and dissipating.
The red,
Yes.
red dot or lines.
And
are,
now you're stuck. And then you're stuck in a vehicle that cannot possibly provide you any warmth.
and remember
You
what
don't
the old
even-
trick
You
is?
don't even need.
Remember what the old trick is? Throw those rocks on the engine while it's running in a gas-powered car,
Rocks.
so they heat up, and then you can hold the
I'm not
rocks.
throwing rocks on my engine.
No, I'm not throwing. You set them on there.
I have
Don't
never-
you remember the guy
no,
that
I've
did
never-
that?
No, I don't.
You throw them.
Oh.
You throw them on there.
Yeah, I'll control them.
This is according to jdpower.com. Most EVs come with a standard 120 volt outlet charger, but slow charging, sometimes called trickle charging, using a level 1 outlet provides only a few miles per hour of charging. It takes 10 hours of charging to get 20 to 50 miles of range, or 40 hours of charging for up to 200 miles.
Well,
So
I
it is
think
miles.
I think
Okay.
the emailer has a wonderful point. I think that electric vehicles, if they're your cup of tea, they're your cup of tea in a very limited function.
Yeah.
For surface streets around town would be a safe bet because you're not going to get caught even in a blizzard necessarily. But my example of the guy driving or the woman driving from Minneapolis to Apple Valley, well, I can see this in the future. Although I suppose in the future it will have been thought of. And while you're working all day in an office building, I suppose your car's being charged.
Could be. Yeah.
So
And we've discussed it before. It seems like right now, for today's technology, a hybrid seems like the way to go. So you also have a gas engine.
so you got a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily need a blizzard to back things up. I mean, we get 2 flakes of snow and southbound Cedar is stopped.
I drove the ID4 from Countryside, Schmelz Countryside, Volkswagen, Alfa Romeo, and
Probably
Fiat.
got her in stock.
And I told you that I marveled at the technology. I marveled at how quiet it was. I marveled at a lot of it. But I found myself realizing this is a marvelous vehicle for somebody like me who has no driving needs. I'm not sure it'd be the perfect vehicle for Kenny, who has tremendous driving needs, or you and Reavers, who has a long commute. But they're fascinating cars, but I'm not sure that I'm sure that what we're seeing is that we're only in on the ground floor of this.
You're right.
I'm not going all the way out to.
I'm
What
you
I
are-
like,
Right. You want to go to Hutchinson tonight?
the torque, Such, the instant.
Oh my God, they're 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
That's absurd.
And I
It's so
hate waiting
awesome.
that long.
Yeah, and I'm
You know
a
what?
bad
I know
waiter.
the Grand Canyon is awesome, but that, my friend, is awesome.
That Schmelz Countryside on the southeast quadrant of Highway 36 and 61 in Maplewood, multi-generational dealership, been there for ages. I've owned all 3 of these brands. I love them. I will continue to. 0% for up to 36 months on all new Volkswagen vehicles, with the exception of the all-electric ID4. 0% for up to 72 months on Fiat models. 0% for up to 48 months on Alfa Romeo models. And because I'm just smart enough to know that I don't want to disappoint Schmelz, all I'm really saying is the application of the ID4 really needs to be taken into consideration.
Okay.
And if it meets your needs, it's fabulous. It's wonderful.
Application?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I ironically would be that candidate, because I have about a 6-mile drive every day.
Pretty lengthy.
I don't have a lot of driving needs, and I think that's the type of vehicle that would be.
When you were driving to and from work every day when you were working from home,
Yeah.
did you have a longer commute then, or do you have a longer commute
Yeah, how
now?
did that commute go normally?
Well, that was just I would just go around a little bit to catch the top of the hour news
Gotcha,
and then come
Gotcha.
back.
Yep.
and-
There you go.
All right.
Near.
Go over the river.